vibes, you know. You're gonna be hearing some songs off our upcoming EP. Things gonna be nice. So right about now, we starting with this one. Ready to blow? So are you ready to go? So are you ready to go?
Yeah.
Oh, ready to blow, ready to blow. Oh, so let me go.
Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go.
It's time to start the party. Sometimes we be getting dirty. This time we're starting this thing right. Hey, so just kick off your shoes. It's no time to feel the blues. So baby, we gonna do our thing tonight. Oh, leave the work at home, leave the stress alone. Toss away your worries. Ain't got no time for that, baby. Now you got the chance. Lose your fears, just dance. We're gonna rock this party. Just raise your hands if you're ready.
Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go.
It's time for you to be free. Let's just enjoy the party tonight. We just gonna ease our mind. So just think about the world, 'cause we're not gonna stop at all, and we're just leaving all our fears behind. So leave the work at home, leave the stress alone, toss away your worries. Ain't got no time for that, baby. Now you got the chance. Lose your fear, just dance. We're gonna rock this party. Just raise your hands if you're ready.
Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go.
Let the music take control. Let it seep into your soul. When the bass line starts pulsating, feel the stress evaporate. Let it creep to your mind. There could be no better time to get on the floor, 'cause we're just ready to blow. Ready to blow, start up the show. Ladies and gentlemen, Mark on the trombone.
Start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go.
Give it up for Mark, y'all. So let me go.
Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go.
Ready to blow,
ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go.
Yes, folks, good night one more time. We are G-Syndicate. This next song we're going to do for you, you can find it on our upcoming EP called Revive. We released it last year, and we're ready to rock. This one is called Chemistry.
Hey girl. Hey girl. Hey melanin dripping, sweet catty coated honey bar, good looking. The way how you move it, put me in a mood, I'm glad to see you. Your waistline on the baseline, so attractive, I wanna be a captive. I see a smile on your face now, so beautiful, I know you're original.
So come wind up on me, I wanna see if you got good chemistry. And come push back for me, don't hold back, gal, just be free. Now you're dance and show off. You have my attention, girl, you're sweet up. That's my baby, step out. Just keep it moving, cause we're still grooving. I love how you dance and show off. You have my attention, girl, you're sweet up. That's my baby, step out. Just keep it moving, cause we're still grooving. We're still grooving. We're still grooving. We're still grooving.
Come talk to me, girl. Classy and intelligent, are you run the world? Let me say face to face. Know you feel the tension, just had to mention. Your brown eyes, shining bright, so gorgeous and glowing like sunlight. I hear your voice, angelic highs, so amazing, I wanna keep this going.
So come wind up on me, I wanna see if you got good chemistry. And come push back for me, don't hold back, gal, just be free. I love your dance and show off. You have my attention, girl, you're sweet up. Dance me, baby, step out. Just keep it moving, cause it's still grooving. I love your dance and show off. You have my attention, girl, you're sweet up. Dance me, baby, step out. Just keep it moving, cause it's still grooving. Still grooving. Still grooving. Still grooving.
Hey, girl, I wanna take you home with me.
And hey, girl, show you good energy, yeah.
Hey, girl, I wanna treat you right, you see.
Hey, just the two of us. We can make it if we try, just the two of us.
Just the two of us.
Just the two of us. Building castles in the sky, just the two of us. You and I. What you won't do for love. You try everything, but you won't give up. What you won't do for love. You try everything, but you won't give up. So come wind up on me, I wanna see if you got good chemistry. And come push back on me, don't hold back, gal, just be free. Lower your nuts and show off. You have my attention, girl, you're sweet up. Dance me, baby, step out. Just keep it moving, cause it's still grooving. And lower your nuts and show off. You have my attention, girl, you're sweet up. Dance me, baby, step out. Just keep it moving, cause it's still grooving. And lower your nuts and show off. You have my attention, girl, you're sweet up. Dance me, baby, step out. Just keep it moving, we're still moving. I love your nuts and show off. You have my attention. Dance with me, baby. Step out. Just keep it moving, cause we're still grooving. We're still grooving. Still grooving. Yeah.
The next selection is entitled Englishman in New York, a song made famous by Sting in the 80s. Hope you enjoy.
I don't drink coffee, I drink tea on my tea. I like my toaster on one side. You can hear it in my accent when I talk. I'm an Englishman in New York. See me walking down Fifth Avenue, a walking king here at my side. I take it everywhere I walk. I'm an Englishman in New York. Oh, I'm an alien. I'm a legal alien. I'm an Englishman in New York. Oh, I'm an alien. I'm a legal alien. I'm an make it man, and someone said he's a hero of the day. It takes a man to suffer ignorance and smile. Be yourself, no matter what they say. Oh, I'm an alien. I'm a legal alien. I'm an Englishman in New York. Englishman in New York. Oh, I'm an alien. I'm a legal alien. I'm an Englishman in New York. Modesty's propriety can lead to notoriety. You could end up as the only one. Gentleness, sobriety, all rare in this society. At night a candle's brighter than the sun. In New York, concrete jungle where dreams are made up. There's nothing you can do. In New York, takes more than combat gear to make a man. Takes more than a license for a gun. Confront your enemies, avoid them when you can. A gentleman will walk but never run. If manners make it man, and someone said he's a hero of the day. It takes a man to suffer ignorance and strive. Be yourself, no matter what they say.
We know you sing at home.
Oh, I'm an alien. I'm a legal alien. I'm an Englishman in New York. Oh, I'm an alien. I'm a legal alien. I'm an Englishman in New York. Englishman in New York City. I'm an alien. I'm a legal alien. I'm an Englishman in New York. Englishman in New York. Oh, I'm an alien. I'm a legal alien. I'm an Englishman in New York.
Now, growing up in the 90s, I would have loved these songs. I'm sure those of you that know them will love them as well. So we got two songs coming up for you. We got I Wanna Know by Joe and Someone to Love by John B. and Babyface. Hope you guys enjoy.
It's amazing how you knock me off my feet. Every time you come around me, I get weak. Oh. Nobody ever made me feel this way. No. You kiss my lips and then you take my breath away. So I wanna know what turns you on. Yeah, I wanna know. So I can be all that and more. And I'd like to know what makes you cry. Oh, so I can be the one to always make you smile. Girl, he never understood what you were with. No. And he never took the time to make it worse.
Deserve more loving, girl.
Baby, I'm the kind of man who shows consent. Yes, I do. Any way that I can please you, let me learn. So I wanna know what turns you on. Yeah, and I wanna know so I can be all that and more. And I'd like to know.
Warning. What you are about to hear goes against traditional romantic counsel expressed by friends, family, and Instagram memes and quotes. Open-mindedness is advised.
ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages, and welcome to another edition of the Senate Podcast. I am your host, Neil, joined as always. Wait, no, hold on.
Sorry, man. Sorry.
Start again. Go
I
again.
was having too much fun, man. I was having too
go
much fun. What Keisha there, gay?
Yeah, give me all. Yes, all of that. I'll play all. Anyhow, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Yes. Every last one he has played. That is right. Anyhow, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages, welcome to another edition of the Senate Podcast. I'm your host, Neil, joined as always by my brother from another mother, and your host, Derek.
Yeah.
And tonight we have a special someone. Let's get her in there. Let's get her in here.
Let's get her in there.
Yeah, let's get her in there, right? We have Carrie Ann. She is not only my great friend, but she's also a daughter. I'm not I can let her introduce herself. Carrie Ann, you can go and let the people, because I seem to always get it wrong, but she's a daughter of some kind. And,
right.
You know, she has her forte is in working with governments to facilitate health initiatives. You know, she does a lot of research, statistics. Man, she's learned. She's a learned lady. So Carrie Ann, good night to you. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Good night to you guys too. You always get it right. Don't ever doubt yourself. You're correct.
Yeah, I can hear it until one of these evenings. I hear, I want the blood clot. I want the bomber clot. Yeah, deal with. Right. Anyhow, yes, Carrie Ann is Jamaican. We won't hold that against her. And yeah, so how is everybody doing, man? Let's start with the lady first. How are you doing, Carrie Ann? How is everything? How was your day? How is life treating you?
I'm good. I just got back from vacation, so well-needed 10 days away from all of the exhausted life here in Babylon, in the US. So, yeah.
Say that too loudly.
I know, right? The Babylon system. But I'm good.
Babylon system.
Yeah, I'm good. Glad to be with you guys again. So thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. Thank you so much for joining us. Derek, my brother, how are you doing?
Man, I am here. I am great. I was in a little bit of a rush, you know, back to work again too. So I didn't have the usual time I have during the day to kind of prepare. But yes, I am ready still. I got it done. I was able to. It happens when you kind of do everything in bulk. So it's just a matter of fleshing out what you can say. So yeah, I am ready. I am ready to rock. I am in good spirits, except for the whole game back to work. I think I got a job to go to, so I'm grateful.
Some people ain't got that.
Exactly. I am eternally grateful. Went to the gym this morning, got that out of the way, for the time being. So yeah, I got to play some basketball last night.
Hold on a minute, man. You got to play basketball. You didn't tell me anything.
Sorry, man. I didn't
want to play basketball
know.
So bad, man. Come on,
we can go work out something, man. And I did stick at the joint, so I felt good about that too.
Jeez, on, bro. I probably would do.
So I felt good about that. Share some lashes too. We won some games. It was half court, so that's right. We sweet there.
As seasoned.
Just turn around on offense, turn around on defense. See my man Mikey in the house. I'm Matt Brown. Big respects to the man. Jason Bell in the house. Church in the house. Steve in the house. I'm my guy Marlon. I thought I saw Aston in there. Yes, Aston is here as well too. Shout out to all the people in the house early. So tell me, brother, what's going on with you? How you feeling? Was up?
Man, I am good. I am blessed. I am in a very good space mentally. I look forward to coming and doing this podcast with you. It is this and some of the other podcasts I have going on content creation is really driving my soul, my spirit. I love it. I had a great conversation with a very good friend of mine.
Good.
Seeing Carrie Ann, we had a very good conversation today. So, good people. Surround yourself with good people, and keep yourself purpose-filled, as you would always say, and good things.
Yeah, man.
So anyhow, ladies and gentlemen,
shout out antisocial in the house as well.
Shout out antisocial. No, of course, we would have heard some sweet singing from some gentlemen in front of a red screen there. G-Syndicate, the premier acapella group in the Western Hemisphere. Derek, let everybody know about your virtual concert, Ready to Blow, as well as where to find the guys on social media.
Yeah, man. Ready to Blow is is right here on YouTube on our channel G-Syndicate 6. You can find us there, G-Syndicate 6 here on YouTube. Find us on G-Syndicate6.com as well. When you go to Facebook and Twitter, you can find us on G-Syndicate 6 again. And also on Instagram, G-Syndicate 6, but you got to spell out 6 on Instagram. We've been doing a little bit of a radio tour of sorts to kind of promote some new music.
Man's been on the radio. You got to give this man a job, man. It's what, 3 times in the last month? Give this man a job.
Yeah, it's 2 times in the last 2 days. So we're doing a little thing.
Please give this man a job.
We're doing a little thing. We're promoting some music. So you can look up for the music as well. Shout out to Mark. He's doing some uploading tonight as well. Let me message him here just to give him a quick reminder of that. And that's what's happening now. And just preparing to launch into the other tunes we got to come out. See my man Huey here, right on cue. Huey is here, and also Kwame, the Black Samurai, as Anthony in the house. Good to see everybody in the crank early. Yeah, man, that's what we do. We just promoting some music here now.
All right, well that's it. Social media, you give the people the social medias, the handles.
Yes, I did. But if you want to hear it one more time, check us at gsyndicate6.com. Check us here on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter at gsyndicate6, and also on Instagram, gsyndicate6, but spell out this word 6 to find us on Instagram.
All right, so we have done our due diligence. Our host, Canadian, ladies and gentlemen, you are
sexual due diligence.
Listen to me, we could talk the things here.
Bullshit.
That's that bullshit. Anyhow, ladies and gentlemen, you are indeed watching the Senate podcast. Remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, hit notification bells so you don't miss anything. We do content for you 5 days a week, along with the live streams every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Barbados time. We also do the Senate shorts every Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. That is a bit lighthearted. It's shorter content, but we still try to bring insight as if we are doing the live stream. So share the content. Share it so we could build this platform, build the community, and really deep dive into it. Now, as I just said, every Tuesdays and Thursdays, Derek would go on our social media pages, particularly Facebook. Give us a like, a follow on Facebook, the Senate Podcast. Derek would go on there and he will let you guys know what we're going to be talking about on the next episode of the Senate Podcast. And of course, this Tuesday is no different. Derek's talking about the mask and he's talking about soft girl era, which I have no clue what he's talking about.
I know, right? I know.
Soft guy.
I be in these streets.
Look at Carrie-Anne's face. She has some indication as to what's to come. So we are talking about the soft girl era. Basically, should men bite into the soft girl era, and of what should they be aware of as they navigate it? So over to you, my brother. We would take communion as you deliver the sermon for tonight. Collect and the offering, the tithe, when the plate come around, put a like in the put a like on the YouTube page for the video. Let me get the likes up. Let me go. Let's get it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. So this is one of the topics. So I want to start by getting all of my disclaimers out of the way, right? Tonight's topic is going to be a touchy one, right? And it may even be a bit triggering for the ladies because I'm going to delve into not only the soft girl era, but it goes hand in hand with the hair and makeup issue, right? No, that's a big thing. And I'm so glad, because I didn't say this before, so I'm so glad that Carrie-Anne has come devoid of those things, because it'd be a real uncomfortable conversation if Carrie-Anne was here glammed up. And I went into that, right? So thank you, Carrie-Anne, for helping me out, even though we didn't have a discussion, right? Now, I know we men are not supposed to have an opinion on what women do, but women want to date men. So I'd like to think that our opinion would matter at some point. So we're, as usual, we're doing it Senate style. We're here to have the discussion as men see it. And hopefully we can initiate some discourse on these matters, right? When we come here to talk, we do not come to do hit pieces. Yeah? Just come to talk the things as men see it. Provide a little bit of truth, bring the other side. We bring the balance, we the counterweight, as I like to say, because, you know, the feel that we hate women, but that's really not the case, right?
Not me.
So from the outset, I want to say that I am in no way attempting to police the styles of women or tell them what they should do or what they shouldn't wear, right? I am, however, attempting to psychoanalyze what we're seeing and hearing in our respective communities on a daily basis. So to that end, we have invited the lovely Dr. Carrie-Anne to the show this evening to offer her perspective on what I am going to address over the next few minutes. So, ladies and gents, put some ones in the chat for Dr. Carrie Ann one time, right? Now, back in season 1, Neil, we would have done a show looking at women being more feminine, right? Shout out to season 1. Fast forward to this year, and soft girl era is the new trend on social media. I don't know if anybody's heard of soft girl era yet, but
no, I haven't. Treat me as a 5-year-old. I have no idea what you're talking about. I have some indication, but you know.
Good. I don't know, Carrie Ann, if you've heard of it yet. You've come across it? Good. Now, many women are now saying that they're tired of thugging it out. Literally, that's what they say. They're tired of thugging it out, and they're now entering their soft girl era, right? They're striving to be nicer, softer, and more feminine, particularly in their interactions with men, because they've suddenly and magically discovered that way it gets them way better responses with men. Who would have guessed that being nice to a man would get you what you want, right? What's interesting about this is that in times past, we talking, when I say times past, I mean 50 years ago, you know, I mean this year. Right? Women who said that they wanted to be nice, soft, and more feminine were ridiculed and called pick-me-shas. But fast forward to this year, and the ladies are saying they want to be exactly what they were protesting. So, because, you know, I slum it for you guys, I love you guys, so you go and I do a little bit of slumming. Let's take a look at a couple of videos. You're going to go to video 1, Neil. Let's place them all together. I found like 4 of them, put them together. And I found these on TikTok. You know, TikTok is a treasure trove for these kind of things. So I want you to pay close attention to the captions. Normally I would make notes what the captions say, but y'all guys can read. We got an intelligent audience. Pay close attention to the captions. Then when you're ready, you could just run the video, right?
All right, let me
4 of them put together.
Yeah, I gotta put it.
Right?
It's 3 of us on screen, so I just gotta put it someplace.
Yes. So those of you who are watching, please hit the like button. I hope you put some ones in the chat for Dr. Carrie Ann. That's important. She always brings some awesome insight to what we discuss. So I think you should be appreciative of that fact and show her the requisite love by dropping some ones in the chat. And yes, indeed. Yes, Jason, she is indeed a PhD. Right? Shout out to Kevin Samuels.
Yeah, we are just. She's not that kind of PhD.
She's on Brett the host, but
well, she is that kind of PhD. Anyhow, let's get into it. Anyhow, let's get it. Oh, when we go mute that music. Mute music. Right, so that's video number 1. Rashad Knight.
Yeah, man, big up Rashad. That's my teammate there, holder himself, man. Big back.
That's a good man there.
That's a good man there. Big up Rashad, man. Respect all the time. Hit the ball hard. Anyhow, now, I hope you guys realize when you watch the videos that all the captions spoke about thugging it out, as I said. I know they're ready to do things a little bit differently, and for that, I applaud those lovely ladies, right? The first step to getting help is truth, right? The first step to healing is truth. So they realized something was all right. They weren't getting the results they wanted, and they're making a change. So kudos to them. Or as one lady I know would say, kudos to them, right? How permanent a change they are going to make remains to be seen, but it's a change nonetheless. Now, as expected, not all the ladies are able to process the transition to this soft girl era. Some are still resistant to the change. So let's take a look at a lady who is struggling to make the adjustment. So Neil got video number 2 there. So you could get that on screen for me. That'd be great. Shoot, if you got to take me out on and just run the video, you could do that. Just leave Carrie on screen. People prefer to look at her than me. So that's fine. You don't got to fight for space with me.
No problem. All right. I still feel like we could get you in there somehow. But anyhow, we can run it for now.
Yeah.
That they are.
Start again.
I'm seeing so many women say that they are in their soft era and they're living these soft lifestyles. And it's become this aesthetic that I just cannot relate to, and I wish that I could and I want to, but I literally can't. I feel like life has always been hard, and as a result, I built a hard exterior. So now, thinking about finding an environment where I can be vulnerable and be softer, it just seems unattainable. Cause I ain't never been no soft ass bitch, and no shade, because where do I sign up? It just feels like it's never been an option. This is just how I've come to be.
Carry on real quick. Are you able to watch the videos? You see any videos? Okay, good. All right, cool. Right to you.
All right. Yeah. So my girl is saying, she can't do it. She just can't do it. And like what she said at the beginning, has become an aesthetic, right? That's important. That's important. It's become an aesthetic to her. To her mind, it's an aesthetic. Now, let me segue from that, right? Because the last lady, she can't make the adjustment. She said it's becoming aesthetic. Aesthetic, how it look. That's important. I want you to notice, guys, that all the young ladies in the videos, even the one who couldn't make the adjustment, have on a preponderance of makeup, weave, lashes, and nails, right? But the question needs to be, why? Why is it that women persist with doing something that they've been told makes them less physically attractive to the men with whom they should be trying to pair, right? Because I am yet to find a man that say, shoot, I like a woman with a long toenail. I like a woman with enough hair just strewn all over the place, right? I'm yet to find one, right? Neil, I have some images there labeled 3 and 4. If you can find them, put them on screen for me. Again, you ain't gonna put me on screen. Just let me talk, right?
All right. Well, three is on.
Good. I want you guys to have a look at this lady on the screen. Images 3 and 4, right? Carry on there on screen for me. Let me know. Just give me a nod if they are. Yeah, you can see them on screen.
Yeah, they're there. They're there.
Okay, the Neil is telling me they're there. All right. I don't know how many of you recognize this lady, but to be honest, she's absolutely gorgeous, right? The pic says no makeup, no weave. Well, no, it doesn't say that. No makeup, no weave, no lashes, but she is still a beautiful lady, isn't she? That lady, ladies and gentlemen, give me image number 5, Neil. That lady is none other than Megan Thee Stallion. Oh. Who would have guessed it, right?
Not me.
Yes, folks, I know you don't believe it, but indeed it is. Megan Thee Stallion is gorgeous without makeup, but we rarely see her without it. Give me 6 and 7 there, Neil, and we keep it trucking. She's gorgeous without the makeup, but this is how we normally see her, right? And the same can be said for many of our women who are absolutely gorgeous without the makeup, but they are always in it, right? And I know, fellas, some of you think that, but yeah, these women bald-headed and stuff like that. Look at Megan Thee Stallion there earlier. She got a full head of hair. And I guess as what do you call it, a flat iron carrier? You can help me out. You got to press out one thing. And it all down by your shoulders, right? What is even more amazing is that the men they say they want have said divers of times that they don't like excessive makeup, weave, and lashes. But the women do it anyway, so we got to ask why.
But they don't do it for us, Derek.
But indeed they do, Neil, and I'm going to get to that. This is the controversial part of the tonight's podcast coming up. Folks, these are my views. They're not Neil's views. They're not Dr. Carrie Ann's views. But I want to share them with them. And of course, I want to get y'all's insight on these things. And definitely the people in the chat, you can hit me up as well. Because I have, as you may have guessed, your boy has a theory about this. I want to share it with you guys tonight. And after I present my case, I'm sure some of you will be triggered. I'm sure of that. But hopefully, some of you will have a bit of a light bulb moment and be willing to have a discussion of the points that I am going to make going forward, right? Now, to my mind, the reason why many women, let me do this for the not all police, many women, not all, many women are into the hair, makeup, nails, etc. because they want to look feminine, because they don't want to be feminine. Yeah, let me get my mind there, fab for you.
She got Jamaica here. She could do it.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Yeah, one more time for Carrie out here, man. It's easier to look feminine than to actually be feminine, right? Now, before you all light the torches and gather the pitchforks, hear me out, right? Because you know I don't just come and talk on my ass when the night come. Shout out to Annie C. I saw her in the chat earlier. I don't just come and talk.
Yeah, shout out.
I bring evidentiary proof that I don't just come and, you know, air my mouth, right? So many ladies seem to think that their femininity is linked to the makeup, the weave, and the other accoutrement, and it's kind of a costume which they can put on and take off as they see fit. Shoot, girlfriend in the last video, it's aesthetic, isn't it? Let's be honest, folks. The makeup has become a disguise at best and sorcery at worst. And if you doubt me, check this video that we are going to show you all here now, right? And let me play this here early. As a matter of fact, you just tell me when it done, they can drop my man, Jerry Dan.
All right, so let me go. It on screen. Let me start playing it here. So no, it playing.
No matter where you go, remember the road that will lead you home.
Yep, and it has finished.
Now she transformed into somebody completely different in a matter of seconds.
Call that
right?
a metamorphosis.
I ain't even know that's transformative, right? Many women, again, one more time, not all, many. If this doesn't apply to you, I don't mean you, right? Many women look like women, but behave like men. We get my mind again. They'll be dressed to the nines, well coiffed with everything fried, dyed, and laid to the side, but at the drop of a hat, all the masculinity comes out. They become overly aggressive, and they're ready to fight and argue. How many times have we seen a beautiful woman engaging in something less than ladylike, and we say to ourselves, well, look at there, she really too pretty to be getting all so though. It's at this juncture that I want to give the ladies some grace, right? Let me give the ladies some grace. You know, they said I don't like women, but let me give the women some grace, right? Ladies, this is not all your fault, right? So let me take some of the accountability from you. I know you like that part, right? The machine has convinced you that being a boss chick, you know, a bad bee is the way to go. And the only way to be a boss chick and a bad bee is to express these very masculine traits, even in the way you talk about sexual experiences. So we got another video we're going to show you here. And only this is video number 9, I believe. We're going to check out this video of this young lady who is letting us know how hookup culture is supposed to go down. Right? Check it out.
Check it out. Shout out Stotely. Stotely says, good night, senators, to lady on the panel, everyone.
Big respect to Storts. Yeah. It was in with Storts yesterday evening. Shout out Storts, man.
Yeah. So let me get it.
I call you, and the only reason we hang out is for sex. Don't get to.
Let me start again. It was a little
call
low.
You, and the only reason we hang out is for sex. Don't get to small talking me. Don't ask me how I'm doing, how your mom and them, how's work, how you been. I've been wanting to put it in your mouth. That's why I'm calling, and you know that. Don't act like we're different people. If you know the only reason we get together is to do the horizontal mamba, okay? The only reason we get together is to make the beats with 2 backs, okay? The only reason we get together is to bump uglies. Why are you acting like you concerned about what I do? Why? Why are you acting concerned with how I've been? I'm not concerned with how you've been. That's why I didn't ask. Where's the mouth?
Do you know, to me, what is so hilarious about that, my brother and Carrie Ann, is that I have heard men say that they have done that with women, that have called them for sex, and the women like, so I'm a common whore to you.
There we go. I want you guys to understand what this young lady is really saying in this video. She does not even want you to afford her the decency of pretending to treat her like a human being, or even pretending to treat her as if you want something more than sex from her. She don't want a conversation, no soft interactions. Don't even check on me to see if I living or dead.
When it comes for all of that,
check me. Much like Dexter Dapp said, we talked about Dexter Dapp a few weeks ago. Call me if. Only if.
That's carry on, man. That's carry on, man.
Yeah,
only
if.
Finger.
Yeah. Oh, that's the only time you used to call me. Don't call me but nothing else. Except this action thing.
Wait, call me for what? For what?
For action.
No, to put nothing. You're nothing.
Don't, shoot, give me get Keisha, man. Don't call me for what? For nothing.
Nothing.
With an A and 2 F's. Don't call me for nothing. Yeah? Come over, lash and dash. Right? Fellas, if you were to close your eyes and she had a deeper voice, you would swear that was a man talking.
Motherfucker, I don't hear men talk like that.
Because you know why? Because men understand. Well, we used to understand that in order to get what you want from a woman sexually, you have to provide something. Here it is, girlfriend is saying to you, nah, I need all that here. And what she say? Wear the mouth. I want to put it in your mouth. What?
No time for talk.
Now, I know the lovely ladies and their surrogates will say to me that, well, the ladies have no choice but to be how they are in terms of their overt masculinity and aggressiveness. So I want us to listen to this lady who explains why women respond how they do, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's get number 10. We ain't keeping it long tonight. Ain't a big long stroking tonight. We getting to the point because I want to hear Dr. Carrie on, right?
So we got it on screen.
I have a legitimate, honest question that I would like to ask, and I need more understanding and clarity on. I was having brunch with some friends yesterday, and the conversation about masculine and feminine energy came up. I brought it up, but whatever. I was congratulating them on their ability to balance in their relationship. And the conversation kind of turned to, why is it that when a Black woman is successful in her career, trying to move up in her career, paying her bills, got her own place, got her own car, doing all of these things, being a bad bitch, being an adult, right? Why is that deemed, masculine? I feel like the term masculine has really been used to demonize Black women, and I don't like it, especially because so many people don't understand masculine and feminine energy. Let's keep it a stat. So many Black people don't understand masculine and feminine energy. In order to be in a feminine energy and for women to be in a divine feminine energy, you have to feel safe. You have to feel safe. You have to feel comforted. You have to be in a space where you can be that free, where you can let your hair down, where you can be vulnerable, where you can be expressive, where you can be all these things. That space hasn't been created for a lot of Black women. A lot of Black men do not give us the space to really be vulnerable, to really be safe. Villains. So how do you expect sis to not carry more masculine energy? Because she has to be strategic, she has to be logical, she has to move a particular type of way. She cannot move with freedom. She can't be free. So I need y'all to stop being like, oh, you're too masculine, find out why sis is masculine, quote unquote. Find out why sis does not feel safe enough in her body, in herself, to be her divine feminine self. Before y'all start saying she's too masculine. Stop it. I'm tired. And then our femininity has been sexualized, like overly sexualized. It's fetishized, damn near. I just need y'all to stop it. It's time. Thanks.
Brother Mike, can I say some things? Please.
Go ahead, my brother.
Please. No, enough is sufficient, right? This woman said you got to find out why your Black woman is not in a space to give you her true divine feminine.
Poetic, man. I love it. It's
word
poetry.
solid, right?
Poetry, man.
Because here's my thing, right? My thing is, that sounds very good, And I see Carrie Ann nodding because we actually had a very similar conversation today, and it does ring true, right? But at the crux of it, that ain't my job though, as a man. That is a you job. Yes, I will help you on that journey to discover your feminine as to what your traumas are, what they are, whatever, if you ask that of me, right? But to be fair, as the great Elizabeth Karen Superhead, whatever she named Overson said last week,
we ain't here to raise nobody.
We ain't here to raise nobody.
We ain't teaching nobody.
You understand? Because at the end of the day, I understand everybody, because again, we talked about this today, Carrie Ann. Everybody has trauma. Everyone has trauma growing up, right? And that is solely on you to decide what that trauma is, be aware of it, and heal from that trauma, right? So all this body count, don't matter, and all this here, that's wrapped up in trauma. We ain't gonna get that tonight. Not at tonight episode. Not at tonight episode, right?
Yeah, we gotta take the crank. We gotta crank.
Yeah. Also, too, she's saying that the black woman has been sexualized and fetishized.
I gotta come there.
That's you. No,
I got it though, right?
That's you then. That's you. Yeah. But
right.
all I want to say real quick, let me wrap up, is that is not, as a functioning adult, as an adult, your job is to figure out your traumas, be aware of them, and heal from them. If you want my help as a man or as a partner or whatever, we can share that journey and we can create that space to do those things. But
keep preaching, brother. Keep preaching.
Right? But I am no doctor. Carrie Ann would tell you she ain't got no partner and look to be no therapist, that she want partner. She ain't doing it. And that's a doctor, that's a trained doctor. You understand? And she ain't doing it. So why me, layman, armchair, Neil Hoyt, is to come now with no names? I got no letters in front nor behind my name. I used to come now and try to heal you from your trauma, find out why you got trauma. How about you tell me what's your trauma? Let me move from there. Anyhow.
No. I can say this, right? What the lovely lady said makes sense and sounds good in a vacuum, right?
Like sexual due diligence.
Yeah, correct. It's all real sweet, you know.
Sweet.
But I want to ask some questions coming out of that, right? Because she's saying women need to feel safe in order to, be in their divine femininity. I love it. There's poetry, so poetic, right? But let me ask this. Do women want a man who is only a man part of the time?
Ask that question again, my brother.
Do women want a man who is only a man part of the time? He's a part-time man. Now, not like what Stevie Wonder was saying, a part-time lover. He's a part-time man.
I can write that down, right? Because I want to come back to that.
Yeah, break it down, man. Write it down, take a picture. I don't get... Smokey. Yeah? I would hazard a guess that women don't want that. You want a man who is a man 10 times out of 10. Right? Oh, and that is... Dr. Carrie Ann, please free up your Thursday night because I have a topic. If tonight don't get me canceled, Thursday night might. But I got a topic that I definitely want us to really dive into, right? Second question coming out of that lady's clip, right? Because Annie was heading there, so I had to cut off Annie a little bit before I could get through this, right? She's talking about the black woman being sexualized and fetishized, right? But who is it that has done that? That's the question I want to ask, right? Black men have said divers of times that they don't want their women twerking in public, but anytime a beat drops, I expect to see a woman backing it up with her tongue out, irrespective of time and place, right?
Yes.
Pretty much. Yeah, much like Meg Thee Stallion, who was on the show we mentioned earlier, right? Showed up Meg Thee Stallion. Lizzo, folks, did a TED Talk on twerking. A TED Talk on twerking. Black people can't get put TED Talk for nothing else.
Normally it'd be a struggle to get put TED Talk.
We are TED Talk talking about twerking like it is a rangy academic course. And to make matters worse, the horrible icing on the bad cake, it was labeled as empowerment. When WAP came out.
What does WAP? Wait, hold on. What does WAP stand for? Just to be clear.
Weak ass performances at the Grammys. When WAP came out, Senator Maxine Waters, of all people, spoke with Meg Thee Stallion. Shout out Meg Thee Stallion, the aforementioned Meg Thee Stallion again. And the song was labeled as, you guessed it again, folks, empowerment. And Meg Thee Stallion and Cardi B went on stage and gave a performance where they writhed and wrapped themselves around each other for the duration of the song. And it was critically panned. And people were threatening to sue the Grammys for the content they presented on television. But Senator Maxine Waters called it empowerment. So we got Lizzo, Meg Thee Stallion, Cardi B, Maxine Waters. None of them in the men, as far as I know. Unless it's, one of these gender fluid things going on. So again, I ask, who has sexualized black women's femininity? It hasn't been men, because none of the people that call this is knowing the men. So because women have made it clear, men can't tell you what to do, right? So
let me do a quick Google search to see who raped what.
Yeah, please do. It may be a man, who knows? But even if a man did, you reserve the right to say, I'm saying that,
that's too big for me.
Yeah. Let me wrap up, right? I don't want to do that, but look at. Tell us, Neil. You saw you have pertinent information to share.
Belcalius Almanzar. If you don't know who that person, her moniker is Cardi B, Megan P, or rather Megan Thee Stallion, Austin Owens, James Foy, Frank Rodriguez, and Jordan Thor.
Yeah, it had to be the patriarchy in there.
Yeah, more men than
push
women. The patriarchy.
Push the patriarchy. Right? So let me look at the term soft girl era, right? And I want to question the language used, right? Because we had a contributor in season 1 who said words matter, right? Shout out to Abby, words matter. So I asked the question, why soft and not feminine? Right? Why girl as opposed to woman? And why era and not life? But feminine woman life don't sound so sexy, right? But it does suggest a maturity and stability that is necessary for a successful long-term relationship.
Hear them words, no? Oh, Lord.
Yeah. Soft girl era just sounds fluid and transient and almost easily discardable, right? Disposable. The fact that there's this proverbial flick of the switch to turn off femininity suggests to me that this switch can just as easily be turned off. Femininity, folks, much like masculinity, cannot be switched on and off like a light. And it certainly cannot be put on and taken off like a mask either.
Oh, that was a quick one, ladies and gentlemen. You are indeed watching the Senate podcast. Remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything. And most important word I just said is share. Share the content so we can build this community, build this platform. Anyhow, people that come to see me and Derek talk, well, they have, but we have a guest, and it is protocol to let our guests go and have some words to say. So, carry on, Dr. K, let us know what is your thought, because we have a lot of thoughts behind the scenes, and it's unfortunate we never recorded our conversations, but even today we have.
Well, even from a legal perspective, it might be a good thing.
Well, anyhow, the point is, carry on. We've had this conversation a lot of times, and you have spoken very critically about the conditional femininity that women have today, and how women, dress and kind of put on the guise of women. In some cases and in some circles, dress inappropriately, all in the guise of being feminine, but still don't purport that femininity that they're trying to portray in their garb and their accoutrements, that would say. So you can go ahead, let's have some conversations from you.
Sure. So thanks again for having me yet again. To clarify for folks watching, yes, I have a PhD. Not the player haters degree. I don't hate on players, I hate the game. And my PhD is in international psychology, right? I studied the psychology of organizations, teams, structures. So I work a lot with people and how they design their teams. Yes, there is a therapy component in that and counseling in that, you know, how teams come to be and managing personalities and all of those different things. So hence my body of work. So I had no idea what today's topic was about. I didn't even look at the message that Neil sent me earlier. I just logged in.
Welcome to the club. Welcome to the club. That's just how we do it. That's just how we do it here on the Senate podcast.
Apparently, right. So when Derek got into the sermon, which I just love all the time, I was like, this is the same-ish I talk about like every day.
All right.
And oddly enough, I'm just coming back from a retreat where this was part of essentially the whole 10 days of the retreat. It's not that we didn't label it as soft girl era or soft girl anything, but more of the understanding and the reclaiming of divine feminine.
Right.
And understanding what that means in the context of releasing or postponing, I guess you can say, the acquisition or the calling upon our masculine as women, as particularly Black women. It was a Black women's retreat. And I resonated with the girl that mentioned, you know, in a vacuum, she sounds great. Like if you were just to say, why is it that Black women are constantly, quote unquote, constantly in their masculine as a vacuum? That conversation would sound wonderful. Like, you know, it's an issue of healing and traumas and the fact that a lot of Black women are navigating life on their own. And so therefore we do have to protect and defend ourselves, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
Today, when I was talking to Neil about this, I was saying, you know, how exhausting that narrative has become, how unnecessary it also is. Because if you are, I'll just give you guys my reality. I'm a single woman living in America, Black as the day I've been born, right? And an immigrant. So there's a lot coming at me on a daily basis. Yes, my experience has been having to step into my masculine quite often, paying the bills, juggling appointments for family members, fixing my house, calling contractors, pricing stuff out, doing all those things that people think are typically the masculine things to do.
Right.
I don't necessarily think it's always that, you know, men are the only ones who can do those things. I think both genders can share depending on circumstances. But if that's the case of how we're defining masculine, then yes, I'm overly in my masculine regimen on a daily basis because I'm single.
You have no choice.
Right, I have no choice. If the house needs to get clean, I have to clean it, right? If the car needs to get washed, I'm getting it washed and detailed. And I'm doing all those things. Tires need air, I'm pumping in the tires. Okay, father taught me all those things out of survival, not necessarily for me to do it the rest of my life, right? But circumstances beg that I need to do that now. I think it's also important that as we're talking about this whole consciousness of soft girl era, Black women stepping into more of or reclaiming their divine feminine and things of that nature, what's also critical to do is to take a pause and recognize why we're even here, right? Mm-hmm. Why is it that now we are talking about Black women in this sense of having to deal with the over-sexualized icons that we've become and now needing to soften that? Why have we been in our masculine so much that we now have to have a major movement to reclaim our feminine? How did we get here? Got here because of this whole, and you said it earlier, boss bitch mentality. And I said it, I think I mentioned it last time I was on, and how that women's empowerment movement has pushed us so far out there, right? That it's very little reach for a man to be like, well, okay, babe, straddle back in. Don't go too far. Let me help balance this. Let's keep this balanced. We've done that so much. And I'm not knocking women's empowerment. Don't get me wrong. Okay. I've benefited from it. I have a, degree, my car. I've done things because women's empowerment allowed for certain access points. All well and dandy. But there is also the side that we don't talk about, which is this issue of overt masculinity that many of us have stepped into and don't know how to step out of. So thinking critically about how we got here and what it now means when we see these movements pop up. It's the fact that some of us are recognizing, well, damn, we've really put ourselves out on a limb. Ain't no guys out here on the limb. It's just all us women. This limb's about to freaking break. There's no balance. Right? So now we're trying to grab for things to say, okay, well, let's recoil a bit. Let's figure out where the balance needs to come. And so you see these things pop up. So I think it's very important for us to be cognizant of why we're even having this conversation to begin with.
Definitely.
Yeah. So like, I completely agree with you. And while you were speaking, it brought me to thinking about, I think one of the biggest problems there and myself, we have, and part of the reason why we created this space is because there are a lot of words and there are a lot of things being thrown around there. One of them is empowerment, another one is misogyny, another one is feminism. All of these terms are being thrown around. And it's like, for example, Derek was talking earlier, sorry, not Derek, the young lady was talking about sexualization of the Black woman, right? And Derek was talking about how Maxine Waters and what's her name, Megan Thee Stallion or whatever, they were talking about how that's empowering. You see women twerking. There was a video that Derek and I would have seen on Just Pearly Things, another content creator. There's this class where it teaches you how to essentially write a man in sex, right?
Yep.
So like it's literally women in gym clothes and they have a man.
And we have that to do a short on. Don't worry about it.
Right. And so that was happening. So all of these are under the guise of empowerment. And it is funny to me because it depends on and I was having this conversation again with Ghost Pepper Tariq. When to me it seems as though a lot of people try to insert these words and create these arguments when it suits their narrative. For example, empowerment. We all know what empowerment looks like, right? Empowering and encouraging a woman to get her education, empowering and encouraging a woman to know how to change the tire, wash her car, and to do things for herself, empowering a woman to lead a company and to become a high-ranking official in armed forces, etc., right? That is empowerment as a woman, as the feminine, right? Because as we all know, everybody is made up of masculine and feminine. The problem I have is you complain that that is either the white man or a Black man or men sexualize the Black woman as if it is a nefarious thing that men have done and we are profiting off of their sexualization. But then in another context, when you're being critical of women for being overly sexualized and twerking and stuff like that, then it's saying it's our empowerment. We are taking back our sex and our bodies, right? Like there was some local women here in Barbados. They had something called, what was called Thought Nation was the name of it, where they had a page and they were trying to reclaim the word thought, right? Boss bitch and that sort of thing. Women been trying to reclaim the word bitch and stuff like that. So it's like as I was saying, the part of the reason why we created this is because you either want bad behavior or you want empowerment. Because if you want empowerment as a woman, if you want me as a man, as Joe Blow on the street, or even women too, you want society to take you seriously and to listen to what you have and be more than just a pretty face, huge boobs, whatever your body looks like, your body composition, your hair, your whatever, right? Then why are you having essentially date writing classes? Why are you having their blowjob classes, their twerking, TED Talks on twerking, women twerking? The first challenge that they have, all of a sudden we seeing women twerking. Like I remember there was a night recently, I was on the Explore page on Instagram, and quite literally it felt like, it was like, I clicked and said accidentally that all of these women twerking going on my feed. Like it's the Afrobeat thing now that they're doing now, right? And it's like at some point, you either want to be sexualized under empowerment, and you are cool with the good and bad, that comes with that, because as you know, with everything there will be good and bad, right?
Mhm.
So either
Mhm.
you're empowering yourself as a woman to say, you know what, I am woman. It is not about how I look. It is, as a matter of fact, no, it is about my look. It is about me and my feminine and reaching into that and empowering myself as a woman and my body, my insecurities and everything like that, and showcasing my talents as in twerking and dancing. Whether men sexualize me and slide in my DMs and do nefarious things and do all sorts of weirdness, or you say, you know what, I am woman. I am more than just my outward appearance. I am educated. I am smart. I have leadership qualities. I am a great nurturer. I'm a great mother. I have the propensity to be a great wife. You either doing those things, or you are empowering your sexuality, but it cannot be both. Because the reason why I say it cannot be both is because when you try to merge both of them into one, you have this oxymoronic type of situation where men don't know what to do. You know what I mean? Like when I see Meg Thee Stallion standing up there, so cupping her breast, right? Or when I see
Mhm.
Lizzo in posing naked, right? That's empowerment. But then now if I slide in the DMs and say, "Mama, you looking real good. You're looking fit. You're looking nice," then I am the problem. So it's like you have to either go on that frontier and die
Yeah.
on that hill in the sexualization empowerment, and you got to understand that good and bad will come, because I understand a lot of people get wrapped up in the utopia. Yes, in a perfect world, we will not have a lot of the issues we have today, but this is the hand we have been dealt, and the solution to these things will not come overnight. It may come with brute force, but you have to be strategic in how you go about the brute force. You can't just say you are the problem because, you know, why are you looking at my body? You twerking. You can't be twerking. And then they say, "Whoa, you got nice moves, my girl." These men too. I've seen this. I have seen women post. And Derek, we talk about this all the time. A woman posts a picture of her in a bikini. The woman look. I mean, carry on. This woman is gorgeous, you know, from head to
God
toe.
is good.
And she has on a bikini, and she is saying, "Oh my God, I don't know. I feel insecure about my body. I am fat and this and that and next." That's fine. I have no problem with that. But then when a man says, "You sexy to me, mama," then all of a sudden, no, it's these thirsty men. These thirsty men. I don't know why, man. And I'm like, you put on a pony printer, right? You put on something that accentuates
That's so long.
pony printer, right?
Yeah.
You put
Yeah.
on something to accentuate
The
that
positive
part
link,
of you,
yeah.
right? And that's a thing, you know. Don't make it seem like that is a thing. Shoot, there we would have seen a video. It was in our chat where a woman was saying, "If you want to keep your man, if you want to keep your man,
Oh
you have to
yes.
put on it."
Yes. I saw that. I
Right,
saw that
right,
yesterday. Yeah.
right. So
Yeah.
to me, if you put that on and you put that on a social media platform,
Yeah.
you will have to know that good and bad will come with that. The
Yeah.
world is filled with creeps, filled
Yep.
with creeps.
Yeah.
Creep saying it just suddenly disappeared because you put up a pic of you self in a bikini with you, all of you genitals printed out, because you want that. And you know, there we always talk about it. If Michael B. Jordan was to say, "That pussy fat girl,"
It's very different.
I just saying. So
Yeah.
I think for me, and something else we were talking about, part-time man, right?
Mhm.
This
Mhm.
this pisses me off, right? And I have had, I ain't gonna out my business, but I have had this conversation with somebody very close to me as well about the part-time man. Women want men to be soft, emotional, aware, vulnerable, all of
Mhm.
these things. But when a man cry in front of you, and there are statistics that show when a woman sees her man break down crying in front of her, particularly when it comes to a situation in their life,
Mm.
that is a problem, because men are supposed to be emotional anchors. Men are supposed to be grounded. Men and women are, I think they said, mentally, psychologically, men and women, and we have a doctor, so she could rightly say that. Whereas I think they said 60% men and women are similar in terms of their psychological makeup and the way they process things and stuff like that. Carry on. You could obviously jump in and tell me if
Mhm.
I talking on my ass or not. But
Mhm.
generally speaking, we are more alike than we are not, but we are
Mhm.
not, we are somewhere just over the middle.
Yeah.
Meaning that how a woman, how Carrie Ann is going to process a situation and how I process a situation as a male versus her feminine it will look different. If you take 100 women and you put them in the same situation, they all will gravitate toward, they may accomplish the task, but they will all, if they're being honest, will have these characteristics and these traits in their emotions more so than a man.
Right.
And so, if we understand that men are to be grounded and men to be rooted, the same way this woman was talking about a safe space for a woman to let out that feminine divine, do we men have space to actually be masculine? Because part of the masculine, part of the masculine experience is to feel doubt, trepidation, tears, crying, and etc. It's just that we don't break down in front of the world.
Yeah.
You understand what I mean?
Yeah. I'm glad you raised that, because something that I have also been watching in the kind of social verse, social
You're in the
universe.
streets too.
Out in the streets.
Listen, be careful what you're saying in the streets these days, here.
It's true.
Yeah.
You could go in the streets, but it can't belong to the streets.
We don't belong to the streets. No.
Good.
No belonging to streets.
No belonging to streets.
But sitting and observing the streets, listening to the streets, there is an energy as a divine feminine is coming into play, and soft girl era, this new flex that they're wanting to put in there. I don't know why. As that is coming into play, what's also coming into play is that of the conscious masculine. And I love that. I absolutely love the conscious masculine narrative and movement and energy that's being led by a number of different men in the space. And it is talking about how men in their masculine are safe, should be safe in being vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it is imperative that in order for a man to be in his full masculine, true masculine, that he is safe in his vulnerability. And this is exactly what you're saying. When a man starts getting frustrated about something, feeling scared about something, cries about something, most women are like, what, WTF? Like, this is not what you're supposed to be doing. I can't deal with this. This is foolishness. You're not a man.
You need to protect and provide, and not to cross you, but
right.
Sometimes I wonder if women want men or if they want fathers. But anyhow,
that's a whole nother ballgame.
Right.
That's a whole nother conversation of the daddy-daughter dynamic and the son-mother dynamic. And those are very, very deep conversations, because they are linked to different aspects of trauma. Like, I can tell you, my first heartbreak was my father. And from that point, from 16 on, it has informed how I navigate and associate with men, right? Not necessarily in a harmful way. I'm not disrespecting men or anything like that, but there is a caution that I have based on my father wound. In psychology, we have these mother wound, father wound conversations. But back to the conscious masculine, which I think everybody kind of needs to start looking at and thinking about what it would look like in our Caribbean context, right? Because that is part of my work predominantly in that international psychology space, is to look at what all of this Western, primarily Americanized situations, what they say, and what the application and reality would look like in different cultural contexts. And in our context in the Caribbean, when we're thinking through what the conscious masculine looks like, it is a very deep and dark story of the traumas of our men in the Caribbean that we as women, Caribbean women, by and large, ignore, or if we are aware of it, we're in deep denial that our men have been severely traumatized. And that lends to our relationships being, as miserable or as destructive as they have been in many cases. I know, Derek, last time when I was on, you had mentioned something too about people not, the stick-to-itiveness, right? Not sticking to it and working through it. And that is something I discuss on many different levels. And Neil and I raised it again with Neil today based on some reflections from the retreat, that there is a recognition of your trauma that is important when you are stepping into a relationship, particularly intimate, unprotected sex relationships with people. because trauma lives in your body. Trauma shifts DNA coding. We know this. This is not something that's just willy-nilly out there in the ethos. We know this from studying Holocaust survivors and their lineage.
Yeah.
And we know it by studying cultures that have had indentured servants and their lineage. And we know it from our African diaspora and what's going on in many of our Black communities now and the lineage. So if you know that you had some level of trauma in your childhood, I would encourage people to seriously sit down, think through that, seek guidance and help for that. If you want to reach out to me, that's fine. I'm here for that. That's something we talk about on my podcast as well. And
Naked Morning.
Yeah, Naked Morning. Plug the podcast. Yep.
Yes, at Naked Morning. The word naked and the word morning together, MAWNIN, like how we say it in the Caribbean, morning.
I love, like, you ain't had to spell out naked because
no,
you know you taught the adults here, so they're well versed in naked. Anyway.
So those things, I think it's very important because with trauma living in the body and shifting coding and shifting metabolism and all that kind of stuff, and then you go and lay down and have unprotected sex with this person, that person, this person, that person, this person, that person, this person, that person, on and on and on, right? You are passing on trauma. You are passing on wounds to people. People don't think about sex in that way because you just want to bust a nut, right? You just want to release the oil out of your back. Like, I get it. Love sex just like the next person. But at the same time, I'm not here to receive people and their trauma. I need you to fix that shit. Clean it up. Because for me to then lay down with you consciously as a masculine, right? The conscious masculine with my feminine, lay down with you and have unprotected sex is one thing. Then to make the conscious decision to birth your child, not with them traumas, not doing it, right? And that is a deep thing to think through when we're talking about the aesthetic of this soft girl, of this. And I want to go back to what Derek was saying about those words, because it's a play. It's a play on words, right? This notion of soft, right? What does that even mean? What does that mean? Submission? Does that?
Whoa! Hey, yo,
what does soft
yo.
mean?
Doctor.
You don't curse for the show. You don't curse for the show.
My friend, family
I don't understand. And so when Derek was asking if I heard it, I was like, yeah, because I'm still questioning what does it even mean? Does it mean that I am minimizing my voice, or does it mean that I am now stepping into a space of more being introspective and calling upon more feminine, displays of things? And then the girl part bothers me because I understand that it's probably intended to signify innocence and purity and reclaiming of that. But the dynamics of the traumas that young Black girls are going through on a daily basis. So the wording for me throws things off just based on work and things of that nature. Versus you understanding what divine feminine means in our context of the Caribbean and claiming that, because there's a security around that. There is an empowerment
aspect.
Right. There's an empowerment around that, but there's also a maturity and a deeper level of trauma recognition and working through in that versus the soft girl play. So I think it's important for us to understand why certain words are being used, when, where, and how type of thing.
I think, if I may interject really quickly,
Sure.
I think the word soft is used, and this is just my opinion now. I think the word soft is being used as a pseudo word, a replacement for feminine, because the feminine movement, feminism, is trying to make sure that you understand women are not soft. They are not, pushovers or anything like that.
Right.
But using the word soft, because let us be honest, right? And I think if you go all the way down to childhood, or if you go to adults and you ask them honestly, what does the imagery, when you think of a person that is soft in
Mhm.
terms of their temperament, what would
Mhm.
you, or personality, what would you see? And I'm sure one of those things is going to come with feminine. Your features are softer than men's. You know, we have the angled jawline, etc. We got the
Right.
hard features. Women
Right.
have softer
Right.
features, right?
Right.
Women have softer bodies in terms of
Mhm.
breasts and you know, thighs and behind everything like that. Women are typically seen as softer, and it's not to and this is another thing too that I don't understand, where we've gotten that words have negative connotations. Like when you use
Mhm.
soft, it is negative. When you have consequences, it is negative.
Yeah.
Derek and I, we talk about this all the time. There are a lot of words that are being thrown out there that are
Yeah.
seen as negative,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
or words that just avoided altogether when it
Yes.
comes to describing certain things. So I think the context and connotation of certain words are important. So like to that point, I think soft is kind of a pseudonym, I guess, or some sort of replacement for feminine,
Right. For the
right?
feminine.
Right. And
Right.
as Derek said, it doesn't roll off the tongue, right? You know, feminine woman era, feminine woman period, like
Life.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
You see my man
Oh,
Carman
one
in the house, so shout out Carman and my man
Shout out.
Justin Clark.
Shout out Justin.
One thing I also wanted to come back to was that conversation that Derek was talking about in terms of, well, I think both of you were talking about it, this empowerment and the sexualized feminine,
Yeah.
and thinking through how we as women continue the negative of that, right? Because as women, you're fundamentally sexualized, period. We're sexual beings, and given our contours, right, we're sexualized, because it's acceptable, it's socially acceptable to sexualize women. Women were used back in the day to advertise the sale of cars.
Yeah.
You remember those posters?
Cigarettes, something. Yeah.
You remember those posters
Yeah.
growing up in the 80s?
Yeah.
All right. So there is an accepted thing to that. There is also the longer story around the sexualization of the Black female body that's, linked to like the Hottentot Venus. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Hottentot Venus story. Horrific story. But even that, coming from that kind of history within our diaspora and understanding that the contours of the Black female body have always been fetishized kind of thing. It's always been, I had to say this on the retreat. Black identity is the truth, right? Like Black identity is the truth, the basis from which all truth comes from. That is my belief, my standard. So when we see these visions and appropriations of Black culture and all that, that's because they know the truth, right? But they have to appropriate it to fool us into thinking like, oh, they really probably don't know. They're just playing. They know the damn story. Don't fall victim to that. So there is a truth that we inherently own as Black people that has been exploited over and over and over and over again, to the point that we exploited ourselves. And this is how we're seeing it play out in these beautiful women in these gorgeous bikinis talking about, I don't know if I'm this, I don't know if I'm that. It's a twisted social condition of the fact that there is truth there. We know this for a fact, but because society has played us for a fool for so damn long, we kind of keep doing this roundabout game.
Yeah, I want to ask a question now, because we were talking earlier about, the ladies coming up, the boss chick mentality and all that.
Yeah.
And only this evening I was having a conversation with a buddy of mine, and he was making the point that, the average man tends to be a little bit invisible to women these days because they got everything going on for themselves, So what can you do for me if you are not on a particular level? And then it's becoming this situation where we got this disconnect, because shoot, if you don't want me, what are you supposed to do? I can't just stick around and wait and hope that someday you will recognize that I'm for you. you know. So I don't know if you could shed any light on that. What women could do, would be the best way to approach it. I also know you talked about your the situation where your dad preparing you for life, and I think that that's also important as well in turn, because fathers will prepare their daughters to survive.
Correct.
Right? But that doesn't mean that you're supposed to approach life as if, I don't need nobody by my side. You know what I mean? It can get exhausting. So I don't know what would be your advice of sorts to anybody who is kind of thinking along the lines, but I could do X, Y, Z for myself, so I don't need anybody. And because this man can't do it for me because he's not on that level, he can't earn like that, I should just ignore this guy. What would be your suggestion, advice, or anything like that to somebody in that position?
So you mean basically what I would tell myself?
Oh dear. What would Dr. Carrie Ann say to 16 or 17, 18-year-old Carrie Ann?
Ease up a little. I would say ease up a little. You know, moving to the US, there is this, which is part of one of my traumas. That moving to the US is a trauma for me. And then the second major trauma for me was the loss of my mom, and then having now to be caregiver to my dad. So those are my personal traumas. I would say ease up a little and not be at it so hard. The grind culture that this society teaches you here in the US is very insidious, you know, and if you don't pay attention, you get wrapped up in it and you just keep going. And that's one of the reasons why I had to take the past 10 days and be like, just stop.
Yeah.
And figure out how to ease the fuck up. That's one of the major things I would say to my 16-year-old self. But on a whole, dealing with the navigation of relationships as you're getting to, I honestly feel that it comes to, and I know this is going to sound like, really, but it comes down to the communication. It comes down to the critical self-analysis and the willingness to do better, the desire to do better for yourself and for those that you're interacting with. And I say that meaning when something bothers you, and we do this oh so well in the Caribbean, right? Where things piss us off and annoy us, and we just said, "Chill, you know, he doing his foolishness again today. I can't bother deal with whoever." So that's just that, and we keep moving on. And then it happens again, right? Lord, she's so annoying today. She won't do this. She's not doing that. I can't, you know, she hasn't given me sex in the past 3 weeks and this kind of thing. And then we keep moving on until those things build up. And I think it's very important for us to have the conversations, if not in the moment of annoyance or trigger, very soon after. And assessing what it is that is actually going on. Is it something that is going on within me, or is it something that I have internalized? It's external, but I've internalized it. Right. Is it even directly related to the relationship with myself and my partner? Is it my partner's issue and internalization of something? You have to have those, what do you guys call them? The challenging conversations, or the courageous conversations, right? I think those things are critical for us to be able to move into and stay in intimate relationships and have strong relationships across the board. Right. And that's kind of where I am. That's personally where I am with even an ex of mine. I've had to have the courageous conversation with him, and he's not necessarily in a space to fully receive all of that. But I need to tell my truth. I need to say what's on my mind, because I can't deal with harboring things.
You need to share your feelings.
Share my feelings.
Don't say the truth, because there's only one truth.
Your truth.
There's only my truth. There's no truth on the other side. I'm kidding. But I need to share my perspective. And it's important for him to share his too. And that is something that we don't often do as women, is to let our partners know that I'm sharing this because I also want you to share where you are. And a lot of men are kind of like, she lying. Because if I really tell her
it's a trap.
what's on my mind.
It's a trap.
It's a setup.
Right. So you do. I completely agree. The men on the call, I completely agree that for some of us, for some women who say that to you, like, I really want to hear your feelings. Hey, take it with a grain of salt. There are some women that are probably going to be like, I'm waiting for him to say something so I can bust him up his head with,
Yeah.
But there are some women out there who genuinely want to know what's going on, because they are committed to not only making things work in the relationship, but committed, period. Right. And I think it's a matter of discerning that. It's not every woman. First of all, it's not every woman you're supposed to be out here idling with. And just likewise, it's not every man you're out here idling with. So you have
everybody
to
worth that time.
Right.
I see here in the chat, because you spoke about the feelings and stuff like that, and I know earlier you had mentioned that some people are in denial.
Yeah.
And the men just kind of don't say stuff, And Antisocial is asking, is it a case where women are in denial about certain things going on with their men, or they just don't care?
Both. There are some of us are so caught up with what's going on with us. It's like there's a selfish tendency to some of us. We're so caught up with what's going on with us that we don't recognize when something has shifted with our partner until you hear say he out in the streets cheating with Pansy and Catherine and Susan. You wonder how he reached so far. Well, if you weren't paying attention, right? If you were paying attention to the man, he wouldn't be reaching so damn far. So there is a matter of you're totally just ignoring because you're so caught up with what's going on with you. Or you know something wrong, but you can't bother. There's no more commitment. There's no more desire to put forth effort. Sometimes it's a running clip in the back of some women's minds that he gonna do what he going to do anyway. I can't fix nothing. Him just going to do whatever I want to do anyway, whether I say it or not. And some men think the same thing with their woman.
Yeah.
Right. That she just going to keep doing this anyway. She going to cook without the salt, even though I tell her all the time.
Dry chicken.
So I think there's a point at which we just get complacent and we actually tap out of our relationships and don't admit that to ourselves.
And what would you suggest you do at that point? Because every relationship comes to a point where it's like, all right, dry chicken again. I tired talking about this. And I see a lot of times too, people approach because they like to think of this as approaching the relationship in bad faith. I know she can do what she want to do. And man says talking about it. I know he can do what he want to do. And man says talking about it. What do you do? What would you suggest, in your professional opinion? What would you suggest that somebody does in a position like that, where it's like, all right, we have 10 years going forward here is the same complaints all the time. What do you suggest we do? Do we try to reset it? Do we try to, know when to hold them or to fold them kind of situation?
Know when to run.
Know when to run.
Know when to run. Running is a good part to remember. I think there is resetting I honestly think, you know, when you've gone through some things with the person, and when I say gone through some things, like, you know, you've had losses together, you've, you know, roughed out fights, stuff. You have children,
You
you know,
invested.
have stuff, right? You have the whole domestic thing going on. There is a point at which I think resetting is necessary. And when I say reset, it means possibly having a mediator, a coach, or a therapist work with you to help prompt you to think through why are you in this relationship to begin with? What are some of the things that this relationship has helped you to grow in, right? Like, what's the value? Figure out the value placement again. And what are the things that you still connect on? And what are the things that are now disconnects and why? So resetting, I think, is very important. I also think sometimes, I know people don't really want to admit it, but sometimes it is time to fold. It is time to tap out and, you know, say thank you. We have done a good run together. We've done what we can together. And this is just where parting ways has to happen. And that happens. That happens to people who have been married 30 odd years. You just
Sylvester Stallone.
right. You do. There are people who do grow apart.
People
right?
change.
And that is a harsh reality.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that. But before the whole apart thing happens, I think people need to come to terms with themselves and then each other and kind of mediate through, go through some exercises together with a third party to really reassess why this relationship, how this relationship, when this relationship, you know, all those here, now, why, when kind of things.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are indeed watching the Senate podcast. Remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, hit notification bell so you don't miss anything. Let's build this community. Now, to add to what you were saying just now, right? Because this has been something now for me. One of my traumas is emotional abandonment, right? And kind of having that partner be that ride or die. Because for me, I in it. You know what I mean? If I say, if I'm the type of person, if I say I love you in that context,
right,
and I'm in it with you, is our backs to each other, and we going out, you know, swinging.
Yep.
But what I would say is that the thing of giving up, because a lot of people would hear you say, you know, Dr. Kemp on the show and said it's okay to give up, but I think what people are missing, because it's very important. No, Derek, you know how it is. A lot of people will say, shoot, I've been in this marriage 15 years, right? The doctor come on and say, time to pack it in. But as you say, people miss that part about the reset and about making intent. Because if we take it all the way back, we don't move in intention anymore. I've been guilty of it. Derek has been guilty of it. I'm sure, Carrie-Ann, you've been guilty of it. With dealing in relationships, not moving with intent, like from the beginning, from the get-go, etc. Right?
Yeah.
And with that intention, when you've been married for a long time, you've been in a relationship for a long time, and you've fallen into a routine. As both of you were mentioning, with the communication is like, I am bringing this up, because right now I don't want to feel like I were walking on eggshells in my home, right? So you're not gonna bring up things to your partner. You're letting things fester. You're just saying she can do what she can do, he can do what he can do, and you just kind of essentially two ships in the night, two roommates living together. And then you get to a point where you say, you know what? Because there's a point where there's an emotional checkout. And you know that you've checked out, but you've not taken the opportunity to say, all right, there's a problem. Let's have this courageous conversation and do that. So I want to make it very clear that as much as there are times where you got to know when to fold them and know when to run, like Derek and I, we have a partner that he's now coming to grips with this breakup with his relationship, because he has tried his best to make it work, to reset, but his partner is unwilling. So he now has to kind of come to terms with the fact that he has to
run, even though you don't want to.
He don't want to, right? So I want to make that very clear. And also, to back to the communication part of it, if I can speak really quickly, is that with communication, you have to be purpose filled when having the communication with your partner, right? Now, Carrie Ann, we've been friends for a long time, and we have had our struggles with our communication in
Oh
our
yeah.
dynamic over the years, right? And
Oh yeah.
as much as we've even been in a part where we spoke about this today, we've had that kind of foundation where we could speak about anything, we could share anything, any displeasures or anything like that. But life happens, and when things throw curveballs at you, and it becomes sensitive or it becomes personal to you at your core, and you haven't healed your traumas, and you bring up something like, I don't know, like if I have a trauma surrounding the same dry chicken. I know it's a funny analogy, but if I have the same um if I have the same trauma about dry chicken, and then every time you bring dry chicken and I like skin up my face, and you like, I don't know who you always you better take the dry chicken and this and that and the next. Then for me, it's like I don't feel safe, because a lot of people don't understand, right? When you are in a relationship where you're domesticating with somebody, you are living with the person. There are times you do not ever want to feel like you are uncomfortable in your space.
Mm-hmm.
I have lived with someone and we have had arguments, and you're walking up the stairs, you're taking the elevator, and it's like,
Jeez, oh, bro.
put my key now
What
in
she
this
got
door.
quarrel?
You know what I mean? Like,
Right?
And but you don't ever want that space. You want, we talk about communication, and a lot of people throw around communication and make it seem like just talk.
Yeah,
But
no. Yeah.
but you have to create the space. And Carrie Ann, we have experienced this where we had that relationship, or we have that relationship where we could talk about anything, but we would have spoken about things that were bothering us, but not in that space. If you understand what I'm saying. So let me give an example. Ramel Hall came on the show and he talked about courageous conversations, where they sat down once a month and they purposefully with intention sat down and said, we are creating this space where we can have this conversation about our marriage. Right. And he said sometimes there was a third party involved, etc. But sometimes, we in relationships, I come home and say, you put the dry chicken on the table. I'm like, Jesus Christ, Carrie Ann, every brass, like, you know what I mean? Or, I will be snuggle up late at night and I, try to get into action, and you like, cheese on bread, man, Lord of mercy, tell you I ain't in the mood, right? I ain't in the mood. I said, but the last time we had sex, it was like 2 months ago. You say, yeah, but I'm tired, you know what? So now it becomes, you're now on the defensive because you're not cognizant of that space that needs to be created. Right? Because it is, shoot, Derek would know, and this is just communication on a whole, this is not just with the relationship. Derek and I, we have had certain situations where in our history, we've had some contention, but then we got to come to each other and say, all right, I am signaling to you that this is something that we have to address. So I am now letting you know that we are entering a space where I'm going to tell you some things that you may not want to hear. You are going to tell me some things that you may not want to hear, but this is rooted in the good faith of trying to come to a resolution of the nonsense that, well, not the nonsense, but the issue that we're having, right? So the problem is that with men, because we're not, like me and Derek ain't romantically involved or anything like that. So if I tell Derek, man, look, I got to talk to you about saying, brother, bum, ABC, whatever, Derek knows that, okay, this is for a space of creating a solution to a rift that we have in our dynamic, in our friendship.
I'm also aware that my sex life is not on the line.
Oh my goodness gracious me. Oh, bumbleclad. Facts. Because let's be honest now, when men want to approach a conversation, or even when a woman brings their growth and their issues to the man gotta be very careful with how we say it, because he knows very well it will impact his sex life for the next, the unforeseeable.
You see, that's a problem. That's a problem. I find that as a problem. The whole thing of women withholding sex because she upset with our man, I think is a problem.
Man, Carrie Ann, man, say it again, man, please.
I don't agree.
Say it again, man.
I don't agree with that at all, because what I see that as is a cop-out for us as the woman to not tackle and say why it is that we are withholding the sex. Like, me just withholding sex, there's a deeper reason there. Is it because I have not been enjoying it lately? Is it because I'm going through a feminine period of, I don't know, UTIs, yeast infections? There's a lot that goes on with us, right? That sometimes, particularly biologically, that sometimes we can't even figure out how to articulate the ish to our partners.
Right.
So what, and that is something, this is why I'm saying, I mentioned conscious masculine. Ultimately, what we should be looking forward to, what we should be moving with intention toward is conscious relationships, right? And in conscious relationships, we no longer can default to this cop-out thing, where when the guy is upset, he just mutes himself and becomes a recluse, right? That shit pisses me off to no end.
Mm-hmm.
Or when the woman is annoyed, she withholding sex, or she giving it a dry chicken every night, right? Like, no. What is it? What is it that is bothering you? What is it that's bothering me?
The reason.
And say it. Get to it. Otherwise, we get sick. I said it, trauma lives in the body. You internalize these things, you become sick, and then you don't know why and all.
Stress kills.
It's a whole lot. Yeah, it's a whole lot.
Yeah.
So I fully, and even if you can't say it in that moment, I encourage people, this is another thing that I work with people on, write it down. I told Neil this. Neil was going through some stuff personally, and we've been friends from damn near 20 years now. So whenever he's frustrated, he vents. When I'm frustrated, I vent to him. Like, we know each other well enough. And I remember at one point I said to him, write that mess down. Get it out of you. Don't harbor it. Write it out.
I feel like the child that in front of the principal when the mother crawling. Because, yeah.
Yeah, for me, I would say things out loud.
Yeah, good.
Just say it out loud.
Don't
Nobody ain't going to be there to hear, but say it out loud.
Yeah, don't harbor it. Don't harbor it.
There. Let me dive in the comments and see what's going on. I see, not Carrie Ann, sorry. Rianne said she had a run. She thoroughly enjoyed Carrie Ann's input.
It's almost as if she didn't enjoy our input. I don't know how to feel about that. But we can take that, Rianne.
I will definitely do so.
Yeah, let me dive in the
Sure.
I like Jason, Jason is in the streets with me. He said weaving and sandling it up. Shout out to O'Shea Duke Jackson.
The street is the best place to be.
Exactly. Well, depends on who you are.
Shout out Kevin too. Yeah, you did say Kevin.
Yeah, he remind Kevin, yo dog. She looks like a tea and all that nonsense, but she looking good. I try to remember what is a show the all guys that people commenting on.
Several things. That was Meg the Stallion without the makeup, or
right. Yeah. Snuffleupagus eyelashes, says Matt Brown. Bars lyrics, the main saying. I can't remember what we're talking about, but hey, I'm here. Brings a different dimension to catfishing. Indeed, it does, because you pick up with somebody based on what you see with the profile picture or whatever, then it's like surprise.
But listen, there was a story that somebody told me. It was, Carrie Ann, was it you that you told me that you had a friend? Somebody told me they had a friend where when they were talking to this guy, they were now getting, relationship is escalating, and she spent a few nights over by his house. And every time she spent over by the man house, she would wait till the man fall asleep. And then she would disrobe, take off the accoutrements, and then wake up. She would set up a little alarm to wake her
to
up.
Get early.
To get up early. To then put on her hair and stuff like that. I like sleep too bad here.
That's too much work, man.
And let's be honest, right? What gonna happen when you marry that woman? And then
some people keep it up for a long time.
For me, let me put this over here, right? I prefer my women to be natural. Let me see if
hallelujah.
To hear short, rocket short. We cool with that. I can work with that.
All right. We can work with that.
I mean, I ain't gonna sweep in the hair in my room on there, so I good with that.
In the bathroom, oh my goodness, in the bathroom.
I mean,
yeah.
I want to see what these things flopping over.
If you start to blink too fast, you might take off.
You get lift off. I don't want to see that there. Enough paint for your face like you going to fight Batman. I don't want to see that there. You know what I mean? Just give me put little powder on your face to cut the grease. I know how women is getting up. Put little powder on your face and come along. I cool with that. Look, this is my take on it, right? when it comes to the nails, the hair, and all that. They say, yeah, ladies, I know when there's more glamour every now and again, we get it. We as men appreciate it. But I can tell you this: a morgue is still a morgue, even if you put a spoiler on it. Take the front glass. Ladies, if you're a Bentley, we will see that you are a Bentley. That's at the risk of sounding misogynist. Anyhow, let me dive back in the chat. Yeah, my man Jason said, I hear a helmet. Yeah, he had an ex who used to call him so. I hear a helmet. The doctor looks disturbed. Apparently. One
of the videos. Yeah.
Ask that it shall be given unto you, see, and you shall find. Rough that you on.
For real.
The chat was hot today, apparently. Rihanna, she is full of crap. However, it all boils down to insecurities and self-worth. I see it more as a cry for help. This is a lady talking about the hookup thing. You know, she don't check for she know that, so just coming. Give her the D. It's like they want, Aston says, I like this comment. I made note of this comment earlier. It's like they want to be a caricature of the worst possible male they can find, which points to what they are actually attracted to.
Aston, yo, listen, if I could say this really quickly. Darren and I spoke about this in our when we lime, at the Senate or whatever. We've had this conversation before. Women are quick to call men misogynists, right? Men that sexualize women and are overly rude and
aggressive
and stuff like that, right? So
all the negative traits.
For example, when a man says "sweetheart," cat calling or anything like that, right? That is seen as reprehensible. It's hitting on a woman in a club. Shoot, we did a short where you can't even look at women now in Australia in the club. In Sydney, you can't look at nobody in the club, right? All right, so you get put out. But yet still, when you see these attitudes, I just want the next time you see a woman, right? Like ranting and raving and talking about how just come over and give me the D, or you gotta be, you MF mine and this and that next. I want you to picture a man saying it. And see, because essentially that's it. You are putting on pseudo masculinity, and you call that out for a man. If a man
and also that is why it's so unattractive to men, because we can see that in really.
It's a man.
It's a fake man.
Imagine a man saying, "Look, listen, I want a long talk. You cooking a meal and asking me how we doing the thing. When they come by you, I come for action. They come to put my so and so and your so and so, and they come to do this and spot thing, and they come to pull your hair and this and that next. Oh my God, oh Lord." The misogyny, the objectification of women. You think that she's exactly the misogyny. You go, is get the cute sayings. Oh yeah, clutch your pearls. Be careful, son. Your misogyny showing and all these cute terms that they say, right? Just to get that laugh and that social proofing. But at the end of the day, if you want to, who's the content creator saying that women want to be men so bad, but yet still don't want men to be men?
Oh.
You know what I mean? They want there are some women out there that want to be men so bad. They put all of the characteristics, and they even bring the excuses. Oh, you don't know what it's like to be as a woman, a black woman or whatever, in this position and a bad position in a male dominated field and this and that and next. They say all of these things. But then when a man who is actually a man and who is actually in those fields give any of those behaviors that those women do, that man label is misogynist. Cancel he, because I don't know how we could get and talk about how one thing. Somebody tweets we see on the internet, on the same Mark Zuckerberg internet, some of the things that are said, if a man said it, these men just get canceled. These men
don't worry, brother. We are going to record some shorts today.
Very well.
I have the sexism for you. Don't worry about it.
Very well.
Dr. Carrie Ann, I hope that you will not leave and that you will stay and record some shorts with us. It's going to be entertaining.
I'd love to.
Fantastic.
This should be
equal opportunity triggerer. So, Rihanna says, I see a girl who is hurt. If a man can do it, I can do it too. Masking.
Yes.
That's exactly what it is. A lot of false bravado. But really and truly, there's a lot of hurt going on there. I would say physician heal thyself, but I don't think that you're a physician. So just heal yourself. Yeah. So as the question, so I got to feel unsafe to be masculine. Something like that, I guess.
But hey,
people guys are not pleased.
That they will tell you that that's the risk of being a man.
Kwame says TikTok is the worst thing to happen to black men and black women. I am tempted to agree. There is a video of a guy talking about how he said that TikTok is controlled by the Chinese. Somebody could verify this for me or whatever.
It really is. No. That's not hearsay.
Yeah.
That is fact.
Oh.
Right?
And actually, sorry to cross you, Derek, but there is I haven't fact checked this, but apparently the TikTok that they get in China
is very different from what we get and what the US gets.
In that
they show positive stuff over there. We get the, for want of another word, the bullshit.
Yeah,
on
they
our
encourage
end.
the bullshit on our end, but on their end, they truly empower their citizens to post the best of themselves, whether it be academic achievement, work achievement,
Correct.
social achievement, anything like that. I haven't fact checked it, but that's the word on the street.
Yeah, that's what's going on. That's what's going on. Let me just make a quick check here because I am pretty sure I have that video somewhere in here. Here it is. So Neil, I'm going to send you that when it's done going through the chat.
Mm-hmm.
You can put that video on screen so everybody can get a look at what I am talking about, right? So yeah, I agree with you, Kwame. Is well, social media, TikTok to more so than the others, but for sure, because it makes everybody a content creator, and man, I can do something sure. Sorry. Anyhow, antisocial says, if I don't make you feel safe enough to not be an animal, then let me get along with my business. Cherish says, what is accountability? And who is responsible for their sexuality? She has me excellent. Yeah. After they sexualize themselves, they reason one of the sexualize we can't mess this up. Not even a TEDx, but a TED Talk. Shaking my head. Accountability, Cherish. What names so I ask Jason? Soft girl error. More like, as opposed to error. Soft girl error. Says Kwame will soon turn into hot girl summer at a dime.
There you go.
Flip the switch. You know what I mean? All that happened is this summer was a little colder than normal. Cherish and our young girls are learning from who society considers to be feminine, and that is why we like to bring these things from North America and the pop culture, because pop culture is so influential. Toxic. Toxic. So when we talk, when we first started this platform, people say, well, we're always talking about these stars and stuff like that. Stop talking about their people's lives. It's curated for the public consumption. That is why we talking about it, because it's curated for public consumption.
And the joke is that we brought local stuff before. We get roast. We get
the roast before it.
Yeah, when you taking these things too serious and these things ain't real and how this could be true when you making up things. Hey man,
until yeah, because we get the messages and calls. I made it the other night, and a man just walk up to me, Little Caesars. I just gonna get a little pizza, and a man walk up to me. He said, "Listen, man, you're doing some good work with this podcasting, man. You're a man. Look, I just try to show the men at work. I think a man show me." I said, "We ignore this man." So when they watch you rest, I think when the man doing some good work, because people just don't understand, People just don't understand. And those are the kind of things that keep me going on. I mean, I didn't necessarily want to hear it for the night and just try to unwind, you know what I mean? But I get it. I understand it. People feel that I be talking junk. I had a conversation with a good buddy of mine, nearly called his name, I won't do that. But I had a conversation with a good buddy of mine this evening itself, right? And actually, his dad and I pretty cool too, right? And he was saying to me that when his dad got divorced, he had to, refinance his mortgage and all that to pay his ex-wife. Mm-hmm. His dad now has a mortgage. He's 69 years old. His dad has a mortgage that he was stopped paying at 81.
No.
Damn. Damn. So he can't dead before 81, is what you're saying.
Yeah, man. I told my friend, man, prepare to take that over, because that's going to be you. Right? Yeah. That's going to come to you. Unless, God spare life, right? Mm-hmm. But, the days on this earth are 70 years and 10. And you're already one shy of that. So brace yourself, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I say that on the flip side of that, when the marriage dissolved, his mother was able to buy her house cash for the settlement she got. My guy is paying a mortgage till 81.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Still working.
What?
At nearly 70. Retired from his job, gets a pension, but he still gotta work, still gotta hustle because, shoot, I gotta eat, gotta survive. You know what I mean? So when people say or feel that, you know, I just come and I hear women, and I need to hear women, and we just come out here remote and talk junk. Nah, we talking because this is life.
Carrie-Ann, I hate
This is
women.
life in which we live.
Carrie-Ann, do I hate women?
No.
I just saying, but you know what I find funny there, just to add to your comment too, right, is that again, to fit your narrative, anytime you say these things, anytime you're speaking on anything that is not going with the trend or in the buzzword zeitgeist or whatever, you are seen as not only an opposing force but negative.
Negative.
So
Yeah.
we get dismissed, shaming. We've been told, look, I ain't breaking my neck rest to watch them too misogynist. We get tell all of that already. Shoot, friends of ours have been told, have told, our friends have been told, you are tainted because you associate with these men, right? So it's like, and I get it, right? You don't know me, you don't know any of our beliefs, you don't know anything about us personally. You're just seeing what you see. Shoot, you might not even watch the whole 2 hours. You might just see a clip and that's it. You run off to the races, right? Or you might just see the title of the video, you off to the races. But I find it very amusing that we live in an era where opinions matter, thought matters, and kind of speaking out on issues matter until you're going against a certain
the grain.
Yeah, you're going against something that is not popular. As if there aren't more than one problem in the world and social issues that we could deal with one thing. It's like if we don't hold space for this group or these groups, then we ain't trying to hear you until and you know you actually hear these. I've actually heard one person said on Facebook or something like that, until we solve these issues with women, until women start getting this and that happening to them, we ain't talking about nothing else. I don't know. Anyhow, sorry about that little.
Cherish says we no longer respect ourselves and trying too much to be masculine. How can we as women expect men to be attracted to that energy?
We are not.
We are not. It's quite simple, really.
If I want to date masculine energy, I date a man.
Man, not keen on that. Salty salt. We don't know who you are, but welcome. Hope you're giving us a subscription. We're about to see soft girls tatted up with all kinds of kids. Well, Rihanna says she feels like the race needs a reset.
Yeah.
Aston, if you got a reset is going to come. I am confident. Life is a cycle.
Yep.
Yeah. If you got an issue, go to your boys. Yeah, I say that all the time. Not that you don't share things with your partner. You should. But if you feel on the brink of breaking down, I think you would be better off, especially if you got a suspicion that your partner ain't down for you like 4 flat tires.
Yeah. Then why are they your partner?
And then
that's the question there.
But also, Derek, go to your boys if you're dealing with my issues. If you're dealing with, again, there's nothing wrong with sharing your partner, right? But, and Carrie-Ann and I talked about this before, there are times where I came to her with my problems as a man, instead of going to other men about these same problems, because what we found out in the pandemic is that a lot of us men, we get through the same things.
Yep.
Right? But because we are so afraid to, I don't want these men know what's going on with me or whatever, you confide in women. And there is nothing wrong confiding with women, but if, for example,
women, not girls.
Sorry.
Women.
If you was a carpenter and you got carpenter issues, what are you gonna talk to Mason for? You understand? If you have an issue as a chef, you ain't gonna talk to a mechanic about it. You understand? So
you depend on all you want to use.
I don't know, man. I'm trying to be professional, man.
Yeah, man. It's all good. Yeah. Justin, what I'd like to know is whether the way in which Black women are overly sexualizing themselves in the public eye is a means of gaining power over the historical instances. If you want to be ratchet, so be it, but don't act surprised when you attract a certain type of attention or get painted with a particular brush. Yeah,
we thought about that before.
That's how it goes. Jason is saying this is some deep water we are swimming in. He's asking for recommended resources. So Dr. Carrie-Ann, you could probably speak to that if you have some resources to share. And sometimes it's just pure punishment. Yeah, that's about the sex thing. Ain't want to tackle nothing, especially okay. That's Aston. Proverbs 21:9. Please, somebody.
I on it.
Yeah, just give me a check on what that means and what that was. What that scripture
give me
speaks
again.
of. Proverbs 21:9. Matt Brown, especially when they're around, more interested in winning an argument than working things out.
Derek is our favorite. Better to live on
to
the
live in the
corner
heart of a whole stuff.
Oh, son.
I got everything's a favorite. Right over here. All right, gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I was talking to somebody about that, right? I bet you really consider the corner of a rooftop. Really look at it, not the whole roof, you know, the corner. I am willing to face near certain death than live in a house with you. That is a problem.
You don't feel safe in your own house. In your own home.
Yeah, that's a problem. That's a problem. Steve, good to see you, Steve. And Steve says she's withholding, and it has nothing to do with you. She's upset with work, parental issues. Her other boyfriend has her upset. Yeah, you're expected to fix it. And I laugh, but that is a very real thing. Yeah. And I'm saying that having been, that guy.
That guy.
But hold on.
I love the accountability.
Yeah. But here's the thing, right? Like, if I had a bad day at work, I feel tired, I drained or whatever, and the market can drop money or your life.
You best
I
get
can't
up.
be like, I still got to fulfill my role as a man. Be masculine, right? I still got to do those things. If something heavy want lifting, I can't be like, I ain't lifting that here. So, with that being said, because you were vexed at work, that's fine. We could talk about it, but you still have to facilitate your dynamic and your roles in the relationship, whatever that is now. I'm not
going to say, don't be not talking about forced copulation here.
Nope, not me. Whatever that dynamic is, that I just saying. Let me be clear.
You know the funny with the internet thing you hear, swat, screenshots, click.
Yeah. Neil about here saying marital grape is.
Yeah, forced copulation. We not talking about that. Okay, folks.
No. Oddly enough, having sex during those low energy moments actually increases endorphins. It actually does make you feel better. So when you have a headache and that headache, my head hurts me, I'm tired type of thing, having sex at those points actually is physically better for you.
I hope the man got the TV up to all no.
I hope
the man that listen got to turn the TV hard so the woman in the house can hear.
I want everybody got the TV up to all.
So it's just like I said, it depends on what's going on with the woman, because if she on her period or the period coming, then some of us are really cranky, especially if we have fibroids or endometriosis or all them something there, right? So if there is no biological issue going on and it's just mental for us as women, I would encourage us as women to take a deep breath and just allow yourself the release.
You see, people. Good people, it makes sense that we bring a doctor there.
Man, the feet that we've been making that things just kind of talking joint on this.
Right, we just.
So I'm glad that Dr. Carrion can, corroborate the things we are saying.
And this ain't a random woman, this ain't a random doctor we call her and beg to come to show, This is my friend. This is my very good friend of almost 2 decades. So, as a misogynist, I am surprised I have such friends.
Got female friends where we for so long. You got this misogyny take mix out here, man.
Turn up to all.
Right. And see Nicholas in the house. Good night to you, Nicholas. Good to see you as always, my brother.
Yes, sir.
Good to hear the guys again, like the new addition. So shout out to Dr. Carrion again one more time. Marlon, next thing you think you find a stranger in your house.
All right.
Yeah.
There's a stranger
in my house. Yeah. But they like the negative traits, especially if backed by money and or swag. Yeah, we know how it goes with physical attraction and all them things.
I wanted to make mention to the sexualization of men too, particularly black men. But you see, I didn't want to do that. But
it's a real thing.
Yeah,
indeed it is.
Because when we talk about sexy black men, right? I know that image is proper in these women's head. And it ain't me.
That's a fact.
It is not me. Let us be clear. As a matter of fact, right? It is so hilarious, right? But I have and I never tell Derek this, but I got so many of my female friends. Some of my female friends be like, yo, boy, hey, dark skin boy. And you can sing to them cheese on bread. Damn me, I got curly hair. They see me as a fuck boy. So they're checking for me. When you think of a sexy black man, women, if you're watching this and you think, I want you to picture a sexy black man in your head. and I want you to give examples of what our man look like. And I sure if when I say Michael Ealy, on the land of self.
Clearly, Steph Curry bring back Ray Man, man. I don't think that.
Yeah, but we clinging on, we holding on, because as much as he bring back the red men, some of we red men out there doing bad jump.
Chris Brown.
Yeah, we doing bad jump. You understand?
Yo, Asta says partners go to your mother and talk all your things to hold told to them in confidence. Go to your boys. Yeah. He said we need a clips channel. My mom married the host.
Jesus. But listen, our son, you know, it's funny, right? We were thinking about the clips channel. And we've been talking about this for a long time. And also on top of that, we have been there are like content from the last episode that we did on Thursday that we were thinking, but a clips channel. Yo, if any editors out there, we ain't got no money, but it's too much.
Can't do the man solid.
Yeah,
because right now we are 153 live streams.
And that's a lot. And how many videos? I think we are like 320 videos in total. So it's a lot. As much as I would love, because we were even talking about the same TikTok and putting some of our clips on there, but it's a cesspool, so we're not doing that. But the clips channel is something that we've been thinking about. But that's a lot. That is a lot.
You'll get there.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Jesus, speak it. Grand and glorious rising to you too.
Yeah, man. You know, we get up to 10 o'clock. It's 9:58 in Barbados, the rest of the Eastern Caribbean. Dr. Cariana has been awesome as always. We would have to look to have you on here as a permanent fixture. I don't know how you feel about that.
Hear about that. You remember early on to tell me that you're too much sort of this. We need balance. We need a female host, a co-host.
But here's the thing, we are bringing a female co-host that's actually knowledgeable. Right? So
they can't beat that with a stick.
Can't beat that. So if she come and talk, don't quarrel with me.
No, but you know they can dipsy doodle it. They can come and say if she's a pick me, exactly. No dipsy doodle it. You understand? I just saying we got an attractive daughter, black woman come and talk things too.
Yeah, definitely pick me, sure. Definitely.
They be like, why did they bring a Bajan woman? Why it gotta be Jamaican? They can split hairs for everything.
Folks, we had a great one tonight. It's always it's always a pleasure to have you, Carrie Ann. But
thank you.
So come back again. I am inviting you again on Thursday. Don't shut down yet because we got some things to record.
Sure.
Rest yourself, Carrie Ann, please.
But on Thursday, we are going to tackle the story of Nora Vincent. I don't know if anybody has heard the story of Nora Vincent, and we are going to get into that story.
She saved the Google. She saved the Google.
Indeed, she is. She is a raging feminist who actually became a man for 18 months. She went through an experiment.
This lady.
She did an experiment.
I didn't realize she passed away.
She unalived herself. That's a new term for it, no, Neil. You probably know. She unalived herself due to the stress of, going through that experiment. So we are going to review.
Oh, wow. I remember the story of this woman, but I didn't know what she think. Sure.
Well, I can't make any promises. They said people are saying not to traumatize you, Carrie Ann. I can make no promises in that regard.
Yo,
Macron
listen.
says it has been great, but I went through my Senate folder today, and I got some action for when we wrap up here. So let me wrap this up quick so they can traumatize you. Right, folks, this has been another edition. The Senate is 10 o'clock in Barbados and the rest of the Eastern Caribbean. Thank you so much for tuning in. We had a great discussion. Always appreciate it. You can ignore reality all you want. You cannot ignore the consequences of ignoring reality. Neil, Carrie Ann, and myself, we do not make up the rules. We just make sure you know what they are. Be the best version of you for you. We're going to see you guys again on Thursday for the story of Nora Vincent. We're going to definitely pick that down and go through. Please remember, folks, out there, it is still very much, yeah, wear your mask, keep safe, drink your water. Don't say hot as the devil's ass crack, as an ex somebody would say. So be careful out there. We're going to see you guys on Thursday. Look up for a short coming tomorrow, one coming on Friday. Peace.
Peace.